Welcome back, everyone. Drake Hawkins with you again, and today I'm going to be showing you the map settings, mod settings, and mod list for the Deathworld Season 4, for those of you who have been wanting to try it out and play along. Currently, we're in version 18.10, so there's a few changes that have happened. This is being done between episodes 9 and 10, after I got my hardware wiped and cleaned, so hopefully if you're watching this, and I'm going to put it at the beginning of the series, so you can check it out there if you're on the playlist. But other than that, let's get the details covered. I'm actually going to look at this map right here, but we're going to go into single player, load, and grab that map key from that one. So if we just go up there, we can hit copy, confirm, and go back, and then I can start a new game, free play. Then I can go down here and I can hit map exchange string. So this is where you would install it. So you just paste it in there. This will be available on the Discord. It is already available on the Discord, I think. I'll make sure it's on the Discord along with the mod list and whatnot when this video comes out. So you go ahead and hit confirm. That updates everything, including the map seed and everything else. We're going to hit preview, and we're going to look at the map as you've seen it so far to this point. There we go. There's our elusive long distance oil. It's so far away. It looks like there's not a lot of biters between us and it, but it's going to change by the time we get there, if we ever do. So there's the resource settings for the map. We got highest richness, highest size for the first 4, a little bit lower on the uranium and the crude oil. And then we've got various frequencies set here for different resources. Frequencies is how often a node is going to appear. The size is the number of individual tiles in that node. I guess looking at a byte base is the wrong choice. And the richness is each tile's determines each tile's value. Terrain, we have water and trees both on the default settings. Cliffs are also on default settings. This is, I should say, I'm saying default, but this is actually started as Deathworld. You click on Deathworld, and then I've adjusted it from there. Moisture and terrain types are set as is, 200, 200, plus 0.3 and plus 0.15. Enemies is a big deal here. We've dropped the starting space to the smallest possible, which is the 17%, which leaves us with literally a biter base on top of our face. Enemy expansion, I don't recall if I adjusted any of these as per the default. Let's do this. What does it change to? 7, 2, 40, 4, and 30. Yeah, 7, 5. Minimum group size. Oh, maximum group size is doubled. Oh my gosh, we did really upgrade it, didn't we? Yeah. Alright, that's why it's so deadly. We've dramatically increased the cooldown on the expansion, so they expand more often. Every 30 minutes. Every episode, somebody's going to try to expand. Or lots of them are. Pollution factor currently is sitting at 60. With the time factor being 200, destroy factor being 200, and the pollution factor being 60. This is the one that's killing us. We originally had it at 120 in episode 1. A few episodes in, we redid it and dropped it down to 60, and we may have to bring that down even more if they keep defeating us horribly. Advanced settings, we've got everything normal up here, except for the research queue is turned on. Pollution, I don't think I adjusted any of that. It is Deathworld standard settings there. Alright, so then we've got the mod list. So let's go back and go back here. We go to the beginning main menu and you hit mods. A few options up here. If you click this to do the updates, if something shows up there, do the update right away. Otherwise it's going to have conflicting issues. You can click here and you can install a variety of them here. You can click the search to find them by name. Like we have the bottleneck, for instance. We could find the bottleneck patch there and install it. It's already in the list though, and this is the list right here. Base mod is on everything, so we have bottleneck. I'll go through those. This video is not for those who want to watch the content, but those who want to watch the details. This is locating input and output starving machines. So when you see the machines and they got the red or the yellow or the green dot on them, that's the indicator that that's coming from here. It'll tell us if something's missing an input or if the output's full or various different things. If you're starving it of resources, whatever else. Clockwork is a mod that's giving us, we'll see the details on it, but it's basically currently set to 4 times as long. So day and night cycle is effectively close to a full episode. 27 or so minutes of an episode. What else? Even distribution. Modifies control and click drag to evenly distribute items over multiple buildings. So this, you've seen that. You control, click, drag them across the furnaces, for instance, and it says, oh, you want to put a full stack, everything, max stack, so control and left click and drag, or control right click and drag. Instead of each item you hit doing the instruction, it checks them all, sees how many total, and evenly splits it up. The standard library there. Electric. I'll come back to actually Kitch's dynamic personal lighting. I've added that one in at this point, so you won't see that in the first 9 episodes. But our friend Kitch's videos, if you haven't checked out his Factorio stuff, do so. But he's made a mod for the lighting. I can adjust this in the controls to basically give a little bit more, a slight improvement to the lighting around the character. So hopefully you guys will not be quite as blinded, because I like to use, there's various different mods for that, but I like his, and I like the electric lighting poles, so we can actually, instead of putting down lamps, we combine them in a factory to produce a pole and the light, and then our lights that we place actually give this a luminescence. It's awesome. Nanobots are going to save our world if we do them right this time. Early ghost building robots, so they basically fire like a shotgun, these, or a launcher, these nanobots that go and build stuff for me. They can also repair, but it uses up material, or uses up charges. So basically we make one gun, stick it in our inventory as a weapon, and then we put ammo, these nanobots, in there, and it fires them through like a normal gun. But what it does is grab the item out of our inventory and place the furnace, place the wall, place the whatever. Opter's library is a dependency thing. There's a utility that does a number of things that need it, or a few things anyways that need it. Which ones? I don't know. A few of them. Anyways, they're in there. I needed it somewhere there. The lighting poles needed it. So we got that. It's just a library file. Power Armor Mark III. I haven't even utilized most of these, but there's some interesting ones. Bigger, better power armors with bigger grids. You just get a bigger armor. Larger inventory bonuses. Also adds various equipments and alternatives to the light and heavy armor with inventory bonuses. So the light and heavy armor is the ones I've been using. My apologies. And the light and heavy ones are nice. They add 10 or 20 inventory slots, but they are less armor. But I mean, when we're getting smashed by these rampant biters, it's not that big of a deal. Is it a matter of 0.5 seconds till they kill us, or 0.6? So Rampant is the big kicker here. This is what crashed the system last time, and the base. It's a phenomenal amount of different work that the computer is doing to think this through. So I'm going to try to tweak a few settings. I may still tweak settings after this if we need to make this work. And I'll tell you in the comments or whatever if I've adjusted anything after that. But it's a bugger on the hard drive and the processing. So those might have to have some. We might have to have some tweaks to trim this down so the computer can handle it when they swarm us. But they swarm us. You've seen it. It's crazy. Rampant Arsenal is our counter to that one. It gives us a variety of different tools and features and weapons training, or weapons upgrades and so on, that lets us, hopefully, if we can get some of them up, counter the biters a little bit. Text plates. Totally cosmetic and awesome. So we're going to use them. You can make copper and steel and concrete and all sorts of funny tiles. It's awesome. That's it for the mod list. Now, the mod settings is something we need to do. Let's actually go here. No, it's not going to be in that, is it? I'm going to have to go into a new game. Throw that key back in there, and we'll get the mod settings list right down here. So this is the rules that apply to various options for each mod. Clockwork mod right now is enables flares. Early game light source, yeah. Disables night vision, no thank you. Just accumulator capacity, yes. I want to have this on because I want the clockwork to make a 4-day cycle. I don't want the clocks to adjust the amount of power to a capacitor ratio that we use for our solar stuff. So if this will make sure that the multiplier matches the clock timers, which will mean that accumulator versus solar power ratios will stay the same. Okay, it'll still work through the whole. The same ratios will allow us to have power through the whole night. Even distribution, Early auto trash research. Yeah, not going to use that one. Lighted electric poles. We got those. We got the power armor. We can disable parts of it. Not going to. Rampant Mod is on, as you see here. I'm not sure if any of these settings... this should be checked if you're using the new enemies. Okay. I think we are using new enemies, right? Enable new enemies. Adds enemies that will be dispersed over the world. This increases the RAM requirement. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that one works. I think we have the rules apply definitely. This Rampant Mod works because they've been kicking our butts. But this is the current settings. These are all default settings. So you can just have a look, a buzz through these if you want. There's poison biters and laser biters and wasp biters and troll biters. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know until they wipe my base, okay? Unhide vanilla damage technologies is not off. Those are default. Okay, and map settings, bottleneck, all as per default. The clockwork, this is the one that you guys have been asking about regarding the strange morning has broken moments, where it's haven't been, for me at least, it's been going to, you know, nighttime, and then it instantly goes to dawn and like blink and it's there, like right now. These settings are a little awkward to describe directly, but basically day multiplier is 4. That's to match the other feature we were talking about. Evening starts, morning starts. So time when morning starts, the darkest night is over after this time. These values cannot be equal to and must be in this order from least to greatest: dusk, evening, morning, dawn. And they are in that order: dusk, evening, morning, dawn. So night darkest after this time. Values cannot be equal to, yeah. And this is dusk starts. So night basically starts setting in at 0.25. So think of as 0 to 1.0. So 1.0 is the entire cycle. Okay. So dawn starts at 0.75. Then 0.5 later, so all the way up to 1 and then back to 0.25, is daytime. So half the time it's daytime. Then it starts to get a little bit darker from dusk, slowly goes from dusk to evening. So as it starts to darken at 0.25, by 20% of the day later, it is at the darkest point, and then it stays there for 10% of the day. So you're talking about 2.5 to 3 minutes. And then this spends another 20% to go from the darkest to full light. Okay? When dawn starts, yeah. So then it goes to full light. So then somewhere in there, it's been causing a weird glitch where it switches instantly from darkest to night to daytime. So if you know what's going on with the settings, these are the defaults. So if you know what's going on with the settings there, let me know. Vanilla day is 6 minutes 56.6 seconds. Setting this to 4 will result in a 27 minute 47 second day. Accumulator modification requires a start. Okay, so we could adjust this if we wanted to. We could maybe make it 4.5 to make it more of a 30-minute video, but cycle. But that's fine. Nanobot settings are here as is, pretty much all defaults. I think I might have made a few tweaks here and there, but you can see them here. Rampant. These are attack waves use player proximity as attack trigger. That's terrifying, but you know, that's part of the deal. You can just look through these. Attack wave nocturnal mode. Toggling this will cause rampant attack waves to spawn at night. Does not turn off vanilla groups. Works better with clockwork mod. I feel like that was on, and so I'm going to put it back on. Default scaling 1. Enable building safety. No safety mods. We don't want those on. NEV dead zone frequency. Don't even know what that is. The percentage of zones that start without worms or nests. Really? That's horrifying. Enable full map scanning. This sounds like it was gonna... This setting causes the game map to slowly be scanned for entities created or destroyed outside the Factorio event system. If the mod isn't using script raise built or destroy the ramp, it will still eventually be consistent with the game map. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. That sounds like that's just going to crank up my demands. Per player set is even distribution is enabled. The delay here is 0.9. I'm going to drop it to 0.5, 0.6. So it'll be a little quicker to decide this is going to actually... It'll only wait 0.6 of a second before it puts the turrets, the guns in the turrets so that they can work. I don't know if any of these are changed. Kitsch's dynamic personal light activation. Darkness level at which the personal light turns on. That was default to 0.3. So I bumped it a little. Hopefully, I think if I understand that correctly, that means the lights, it's going to get a bit darker before the lights come on. That mod comes on. So that's no confirmed changes. That's what we've got there. It's going to reboot the game here for us. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm going to put some information in the description and or pin a comment, something like that, so you guys can get to the Discord link easily to get all this detail. If you want more or have any questions, put them in the comments below and we can find out exactly what I did wrong and what can be fixed, especially if you find a solution to the Clockworks Morning Has Broken bug. So thank you everybody once again for joining me for some more Factorio, and hopefully at episode by episode 10 we can get something started that actually survives. Spoilers if you're at the beginning here, but we die a few times. Just saying. Thank you everybody for joining me. We'll see you in game.